As soon as the footsteps came, the bride quickly covered her face with a veil. So she could not see that the groom's face which was already covered with blood. He picked up the sword and put directly into the bride's chest, killing her in an instant. The woman looked at him in surprise. She couldn't understand why he had killed her. Seeing this, the groom smiled and then cut his own neck with the same sword. The girl watching the show was completely shocked by this crazy story. She saw the groom died a few moments later. Because of the overnight awakening, a system appeared in front of the girl and said, "You can be brought back to life in the novel." Actually, it was an incomplete novel where male lead who was supposed to become immortal, but he went on the path of darkness and the story world began to break. Now there was only one way to improve this story. Gaining the trust and favorability of the male lead. The girl was about to refuse at first, but as soon as she heard that the reward is 1 billion. She sat up straight and said she was ready. Meanwhile, in the story, the female lead was being forcibly sent by her half-sister to marry a demon. When she refused, her mother thrashed her severely and she is about to faint. That's when the girl enters the world with pain in her head and sees herself lying sick and beaten in front of everyone. The mother raised her hand again to hit her. But this time, the girl responded. She held her mother's hand and gave her a strong slap. Without stopping, he also gave a slap to her stepsister who instigated everything. Then as soon as the maids came to stop her she slapped everyone one by one taking revenge. At the same time, her father gathered his power to strike her and the girl was about to hit him back but the system immediately issued a warning saying he's very powerful. It will be difficult to fight him. But the girl proudly showed her father the middle finger. She went ahead and pointed to her forehead and asked her father, if he wants to kill, attack her directly at her forehead for instant kill and questions him if I die, who will marry on behalf your daughter. The father gets angry. He says you're threatening me. The girl agrees and says, absolutely. She then asks him to open his pockets and take the money out only then she will sit in the bridal sedan. Dad gave up arguing and he had to give her the money to get married. The girl then happily sat in the bridal sedan chair. After some time, she reached the cave of demon. He removed the curtain and at the same moment their eyes met. But then she tripped in her heavy dress and fell directly into his arms. The girl was surprised to see the man's face so close to her face. She saw him smiling. The girl quickly took out a rose and sweetly started flirting with him calling him darling. He asked, what does that mean? As he has never heard that word before. The girl smiled and said it was a special greeting from our village. Now you've got to give me your here too. The system then issued a notification saying favorability of the main lead has increased. The girl smiled and thought it was a very easy task. But the system said you're not the first to achieve this. Before you, 5 girls who used to strategize against him have been killed on this wedding day by him. While the girl was talking to the system at the same time the man was looking her and a terrible darkness filled his eyes. He didn't remember how many times it's happened. Every time a girl comes into his life, she pretends to care for him, change him, comes close to him and then deliberately pushes him into danger. When he began to break down, these girls would save him by becoming the savior. Just to increase its effectiveness. But seeing all this, he was filled with rage as no one cares for him. Every time the girl was about to succeed, he would kill them so that he would be left writhing with unfulfilled hope. Now he was seeing a similar face in the new girl but was thinking about her fate as she was about to be killed too. But then the girl started counting on her fingers and shrunk her nose from the system and said wait, it means that the groom has been married 5 times so far.